Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We are here playing our removing the Mathis curse campaign. Excited to be back, and we've got a fresh new face. Not really, but we're
But you
here.
can finally see Katie's face.
Well,
I could
Katie,
see you last time.
yeah, Katie's been here.
I know, but it's still a big deal.
Yeah, she's really
For any of our
artsy.
long-term historical viewers, they might not know this.
Yes,
Yeah.
Katie is a real person. So there we go.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Not
It's
just
Nick.
a bear.
it's
It's
not
Nick
just a
who's just
bear.
represented by an AI.
Was there ever a doubt that Kitty was a real person?
I don't know that
Well,
bear.
sometimes I thought she was a bear.
You
This is
never
a
And then
know.
I'd be
She
like,
could be.
oh, the bear speaks.
She still could be. So, getting back on track. Hello. I am currently
Hello.
here in voice, but not in face. I am Nick, and I play Kick Six Mantra, a tiefling barbarian rogue. Yes, I am doing some multi-class action. Uh, because hey, I need to get in business. With
All the cool kids multi-class.
Yeah, exactly. I was kind of bored, and I didn't know what to do for a time that we were going to be kind of just existing, and I needed to get with August and do whatever the fuck that we were gonna do. Yeah, family business
Yeah.
much. So that's me. I have nothing more to add. I'm gonna pass it off to our new friend, played by Kivon.
Yeah, I'm Kevin. I play Malone Knox, who the group hasn't even met yet. Uh,
He's a foe.
he's a multifaceted Twilight cleric, and since no one else really knows much about him yet, I'm just gonna leave it right there and make it Rosie's problem to explain herself.
Oh, shit.
Rude. Um, I play Auguste Barra. I am a necromancer human wizard who is like an extended member of a crime family, adopted, and I'm in business with Kix, and that's it. Oh, and I have a ghost monkey.
Yes.
Whose name is?
I haven't decided yet.
We could just call him Ghost Monkey.
Ghost monkey.
Kind of like in the realm of like Space Ghost, Ghost Monkey,
Ghost monkey chunky.
which we shouldn't confuse with
I think
Blip,
I'm just
which
gonna
is
call him
Ghost Space
Boss
Monkey.
because his initials are GM, so he's a boss.
There.
Yeah. So Katie.
Hi, I'm Katie. I am playing Taika Ashton, who is a beast-hide warlock, witchy kind of person. I have a fox familiar, and I talk to fairies and trees and stuff. And I'll pass to Derek.
God.
Derek.
Are you
Derek?
there?
So, no, I just I heard a little more coming. I thought I heard a little more coming from. Have a chance to finish what she was saying. So, anyway, my name is Derek, and this is set in the world of Shardus. I kind of put put some of the story out there, and we deal with what happens from there. Today is a special occasion for everybody. It is April 10th, which means absolutely nothing anywhere. But what makes this such a special occasion is we're all having a dinner party soon.
Will there be tea?
I fucking love food.
Yeah, there will be a dinner party, and there will be plenty of food, and everybody will have a chance to meet some colorful characters and learn a little more about the land around them, and see if anything intrigues them. So, where we are, it's going to take a moment to gather everybody into a common place. So I'm going to start by recapping a couple of things and resolving those things as we go along. First, I'm going to look to Razi and then August and Kixik. When we last left them, they were kind of standing around with a quote-unquote fairy curse on them.
Oh, that's right. Fuck fairies.
Couple of kids showed up, wanted them to investigate their lost parent, offered to give them what was in a bag to do that. They agreed, and it was basically cursed money.
Oh, I hate it.
Yeah. So,
And then I yeeted that into the river.
Yeah. So getting rid of that curse was actually surprisingly easy, as August just called in a few favors and was not more than an hour later. There are several clerics there who undid this curse and actually put a couple more protections around their business so that something like this quite possibly could not happen again. But at about the end of that time, there was a knock on the door, and there's a series of kids that work for August's family. They run little errands through the town and wherever. These kids have come to the door knocking, carrying a black envelope sealed with the seal looks like a heart above an open flame. This letter is given to you. The kids are like, we're asked to give it. The Lord of the Manor House, Eben Heartswallow, the owner of Flameheart Manor, which is one of the bigger houses in the real rich portion of Antwerp, that's kind of separated from all of the invention stuff. It's kind of got its own little bubble of air and everything, so it's all this. People used a lot of money to make it a very gated community, basically. And Eben Hartswallow had invited both of you in this letter, Kixik and August, to a meal on the 10th of April, today. There's a map leading you to the manor. Not that you needed it. You're very well aware of the direction, most of the areas in the city. The dress is labeled as "come as you wish." There's no real standard for. Imagine we wearing quite fancy and expensive clothing. So,
I don't know
what would you
about
guys
this
like to
one.
do?
I've never been to a party, have you?
Of course I have.
Well, girl, you're gonna have to show me the ropes because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
We're gonna get you an outfit. It's gonna be great.
Yes! Oh my god, I'm so ready for it.
Let's go shopping.
Oh, yes, queen. Let's go shopping.
Shopping montage.
Shopping. Do, 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 do.
So, we cut to one of the tailor shops just right down the road. And 45 minutes of August sitting in a chair and Kixik coming out in various clothing, and August going, no, just go back, go back. Throw in the traditional 80s music, and you have that whole fashion montage of getting ready for the big event.
No one sees her with a drink in her hand, but every time she changes position in one of there's another empty mimosa glass just off to the side.
No.
Accurate.
No.
So, what kind of what kind of outfit would Kixik wear
I want to see
to a
something
party like that?
revealing
That may
on
be the wrong question.
What?
What type of outfit would August allow Kixik to wear?
Oh, girl, please let me be bougie. And also slightly naked.
I
I think the
I-
nudity may not be required.
I think there's part of August that would go, let him wherever what he wants, because either way it's going to be fun for me.
Oh yes. Oh
But
my
I could
god.
be wrong.
You want a heart-shaped
Suit jacket,
cutout that
top
shows off
hat.
your ass cheek? Go for it.
No, I want a heart-shaped cutout that shows off like the chesticles. Like I want that to be
Suit
kind
jacket,
of
top hat, no shirt.
Yes.
Oh my god, I'm here
But-
for it.
Suit jacket and top hat in like what colors? You have blue skin, right?
Yes.
Ooh, orange, obvi.
Oh god,
Yeah.
yes, queen. Okay, we're doing it. We're going for the portal colors. Yeah, aperture science time, bitches. Like this is.
Yeah. There are also a choice of fine adornments. There are very large, like peacock feathers. They do sell what they call a gemstone dragon brooch, and it's like a scale from a gemstone dragon, like it's almost like a prism that catches the light and just shoots all over the place. It's not magic or anything. It's just intentionally pretentious.
Oh my god, should we go the extra mile?
Yes, put it on Daddy's tab. He'll love
Oh
it.
fuck yes. Oh my god. Thanks, Daddy. Oh my god, do you have any
And,
pasties?
Do you have any what?
I said, do you have any pasties?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, they could go about finding you an appropriate outfit in this orange that is like almost toxic to your vision.
I'm here for it.
And then the last question is, how far up do your boots go?
Oh god, should I go the fucking
That I need
thigh
to know.
highs?
That depends on how high the heel is.
If I'm wearing a 6-incher, it goes up to the thigh. Oh yeah, hell yeah, we're doing thigh highs. We're going for it.
Yes, I figured that there would
Kicks
be
it 'cause
time
I'm bad,
is
bitch.
bringing the fabulous.
is quite dressed up for the occasion. And eventually the owner of the store comes with a handful of like handkerchiefs and like pocket square kind of things and lays them all out for you.
Sorry, did you say
They
handkerchief
have
or cankerchief? I did.
handkerchiefs, yes.
Oh,
They're used for your mouth sores.
okay.
I said handkerchiefs, sorry. But there is like all of this stuff, and like every time you think you've found something that levels to that extreme, he brings out something that's 2 or 3 more notches higher than that.
Oh my
It's
god.
like he's like, I know where you want to go with this, and I want to give you the full nuclear option, basically.
Jesus Christ, I love you. Oh god, he's feeding into my bougie fantasies. Help me, please.
Just do
Yes.
it.
Would you
Oh,
like
God.
1 or 2 monocles?
Oh god, I'm gonna fall into the trap. I'm gonna go against my better judgment and go with whatever the fuck whatever the fuck August is saying.
Do 2 monocles. One of them is clear, one of them is tinted, and then change them throughout the night for no reason.
Yes. Yes.
Just make everyone
Yes.
wonder, is it a magic item?
Yeah.
There is also one other option we have. We have a small selection of live animals that you could bring with
No.
you.
No.
We don't promote that.
And it's at that point
That's not
where the
your
owner
brand.
like hangs his head in shame. He's like, "Oh, I thought I knew exactly what was
No.
going on. I pride myself in seeing how far he goes." And then he turns around and looks back and goes, "Put the fox cubs away."
The fox cubs.
Stop dealing in animals.
Sorry, this is not Joe Exotic time.
They're mostly illusional constructs. I don't
So is
carry
life,
real
but-
animals. Do you think I have a? I don't have a license for that kind of thing around here.
Oh shit.
I say
Well,
mostly illusional constructs.
I don't know how I feel about that. Nah, I'm good. You know what? I just want the clothing. I don't need items like that. I
Oh,
need my
excellent.
I need my chest to be the ultimate attraction at this party.
Oh, good. One more thing for you then. He walks back
Body
and he
glitter.
comes back and he brings like a tub of this stuff and he goes, "We use this to grease the machines,
Say no more, and
but
I immediately grab it and put it on myself.
but I think this would be perfect for highlighting your assets."
Oh God, yes. Catch me fucking stealing every rich man's money.
So is there anything else you would like to add to your outfit?
I look at myself. I twirl a little bit. I puff my chest out a little bit, and I turn to Og and I say, "You think I'm ready?"
Perfect.
He looks at August and goes, "Sure he doesn't need a cape?"
Ooh, as long as it can be strategically, casually thrown over one shoulder, yes.
Okay, let me see. He steps
Nervous.
back,
It's like,
and he comes out with 3 kind of capes. The first, a very basic black. It's got a couple of like clips to so you can secure it like on your shoulders or whatever. But it only goes down to about your midsection. It's not a very like long kind of cape. It's kind of a capelet or whatever you want to call it. And,
Capelet.
yeah.
capelet.
Yeah. That's the first thing. The second one he brings out, it's similar, but it is a very crimson red. It's longer. It goes down to just under your kneecaps, and it's like crimson red on the outside and black on the inside.
Seems.
And then
I don't feel like red and orange.
No,
Yeah.
red's definitely gonna clash with this outfit. I feel like black is too, to be honest.
And he goes, "I have one more.
Oh God.
This is my crown achievement."
Transolution.
He brings it out. It is
Horrible.
it is a cape with a hood. It would go all the way down almost to the floor. It actually would go beyond the floor for you. But this hood is shaped like a peacock's head. And the rest of the cape coming down
Oh my God.
is just a rainbow of colors. And even as you move, the light catches this thing and you get like sparkles of stuff that comes off, and you get this it's almost like hypnotic. If you like sway it the right way, you can see these colors like swirl around, and they give you after images, so bright and everything. It gives you after images of the color as it goes by you.
Oh my God, I have such a quarter chub right now. Like, this is crazy. Oh
You would
my-
need to have like a cape bearer to hand that off to after you make your entrance in that.
I mean, it's a rich person's house, so more than likely that will be a thing. Oh God, I am.
I mean, you basically need it.
God, I am. Yeah, dude. Like, I am throbbing. I need this right now.
Oh my god.
The
Can't
Fabric?
see anywhere.
the fabric is elven. The
Ew.
feathers were collected
Humanely.
from they were collected from the Beastlands.
Donated by Aarakocra.
Someone donated their skin. I love that.
And you'll find some of like the silver threading near the bottom of that That's pure silver that we mined from the elemental plane.
Ooh.
It's not magical. It's just expensive.
Let me repeat. Daddy's tab.
Daddy's money.
We have
He'll love it.
no issues. We have no issues with charging your father for all of this. No issues at all.
We'll
Don't
pay
worry
for the
about that.
clothes.
Yeah, we have the money, so fuck yeah.
It's just funny.
Honey.
When his statement
But-
comes in and he's like, August.
Now we've
Oh,
done.
Fuck.
Now that we've taken care of your companion, what can we do for you?
I'll just wear whatever I wore to the last funeral I went to.
Oh, but I have something that would be perfect for you in the back.
As long as it's not pastel.
I want it to be chartreuse.
Keep in mind.
He steps. Just one moment. Just one moment, please. Just look at it. If you're not interested, we're fine.
Okay.
He steps back, and the first thing that you notice is as soon as he walks in, there's a real smell of earth.
Oh God,
I'm just wearing dirt.
we're gonna commit
Never
arson
mind.
tonight. I just know it.
And
That's basically about right.
he goes, "This was repurposed."
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. It was a funeral shroud at one time, but we've made it into an elegant dancing dress.
Okay. What does it look like?
Would that make it the dance macabre?
Oh,
He goes,
yeah, I'm
This.
soft after that one.
I would.
"Oh, you know what? All right.
Whose funeral
Yeah.
shroud?
Well, that we don't know. It was just obtained by our collector.
I almost have to get it, right? It speaks to me.
It does,
It
yeah.
probably will later, too.
I'm gonna roll insight for speaking to me.
So it is in a gray.
To match my eyes. I dig it.
Yes, it is in a gray that is really close to the color of your eyes. The only problem that you do notice about it is it does still have like some dirt and maybe like a little burnt mark near the bottom. And it's not dirt. It's not active dirt. It's like kind of an old stain.
Okay, what's up with that part?
Oh, well, that's, we found it and we repurposed it. We found that it was, not easy to clean. It resisted all our attempts, to freshen it up, so to speak. It did have no problem with us making it into this dress.
It?
Well,
What
yes,
happens if I press to digitize it?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have magical means at my disposal. I just use harsh chemicals, and
Why are you referring to the dress as an it? Because it makes
in
it
my
sound like there's...
line. No, look, it's very simple. In my line of work, cloth speaks to me.
Okay.
It tells me what it wants to become.
Okay.
That's how I fashioned your miraculous cape and how this dress came to be. It told me what it wanted to be, so I made it.
Okay, fine.
Okay, if I clean it, does it, like with prestidigitation, does it actually clean?
When you cast the prestidigitation on it, you see the stains and the scent of the basically grave slip away from it very quickly, to which you now see the owner is saddened by this, and he kind of just walks away, shaking his head.
Sorry,
Is it
Buckaroo.
cute?
Is
It's
it cute?
it's a modern, it's more modern fashion. It would definitely fit well with little to no like alteration needed. Um, you could, if you topped it off with a nice pair of shoes, it would definitely work for this kind of thing. It's not a, it's a little conservative maybe, but
Perfect.
it's not particularly like in poor design. There's an elegance to it, even if it is a funeral shroud.
Perfect. I'll take it. It speaks to me, and I try not to stand out anyway because I don't publicize my alternative abilities anyway.
My alternative lifestyle. I don't want anyone to
Yes.
know I'm a goth.
Those were private tutors. We don't
With the
talk
right
about that.
shoes, August can work any.
So after we've done this whole shopping montage, we're gonna fade away from Kixik and August as they start to head out towards the dinner. Um,
Where's Tyga?
Tyga
yes,
died.
yes.
She
No.
comes to the party wearing leaves
Rip me.
with fairies coming out of them. I don't even know.
Ripping shit, Tyga.
Taika, when we last saw Taika, she had received a message that the dryad near the platinum mine uh, was in poor health and was looking to be, well, was looking to have part of her body replanted elsewhere. It's not so much it's kind of a death, but it's more of a death and rebirth kind of thing. So, um, if I remember correctly, there was just a very brief discussion about you receiving that letter, um, and there had never really been we never really had the chance to make it so if that was what you were planning to do, or if you had something else in your mind. But as you come out of your house, after receiving the message and everything, there's also a black envelope, and on the back of that black envelope is a seal wax of a heart over an open flame. So,
You are hungry. No, I'm just kidding.
I'll open the letter.
yeah.
Right.
Upon reading the letter, is an invitation um, from a gentleman known as Ebonheart Swallow, who uh, said that he was in the letter. It says it is very impressed with your how you handled the recent events, or not the recent events, how you handled the events that happened in Antwerp, and how you and your companions were quite suited for a potential job he had in mind later on, and was interested if you were going to be in the area of Antwerp, if you would like to attend a formal meal with him on the 10th of April, which um, is in real life today, but in the point of where you're at is a few days from now.
Okay.
As you read further, it basically says, come as you are in terms of an outfit, whatever. Well, you are very aware though, like looking at the stationery and looking at the kind of invitation and that stuff. This is coming from an individual with a decent amount of money, so come as you are. It is whatever uh, you feel comfortable doing, but there is maybe a little bit of pressure to dress up in some fashion.
Okay.
To make this a little more, a little easier for you, though, the platinum mine is is basically right is an hour or so out of Antwerp. So if you're down there for the Dryad, you would also be within the area for that dinner if you wish to attend. You're no means required to. It's an open invitation. There's not even an RSVP kind of thing to it. Just there's a date in there, and in the end, he says that he hopes you show up.
Okay. I'll go see the Dryad first, and then go from there.
I was going to ask, is Taika a party girl?
Ooh. Yeah, she gets hella turnt at raves.
Well, she does hang out with a lot of fairies.
Shit.
On occasion.
Truth.
I was going to go with easy access to mushrooms, but okay.
We'll go with
The
the
life,
other
man.
one.
So, your patron has blessed you with an easier means to. Your first trip to Antwerp was kind of a convoluted mess. You ended up going there, and then going all the way down to Rustgrave, and then back up to Antwerp. Your patron was kind enough to give you a scroll. It's kind of one use though, that will allow you to travel from your home to a tree that is near the Dryad's tree in the Platinum Mine area. So if there's anything else you'd like to do before that in terms of, in your house or in the surrounding areas, chores you might feel are necessary or whatever, you're more than welcome to do that, knowing that your travel time is only about an hour from where the Dryad is to this manor. But, factor in the amount of time you spend speaking with the Dryad.
Okay. Before I go, I'll get dressed in the nicest clothes that I have, which isn't anything super fancy, but whatever nice would be for a typical person.
Yeah. So I mean, it's clean, it's in good function, and it's uh, on that edge of the majority of outfits anywhere are they're more utility than anything now. So you find something that's suiting for that, and you suited for that. Sorry, and you get dressed, and you've gathered up your fox, and then from there, when you arrive outside, there's a group of pixies around at this point. They they've been kind of hanging around your house lately, not doing anything to your house, just kind of there, and they do this stuff. They kind of give you the wave, and you get the feeling they're suggesting they're not speaking at this moment though, but you get the feeling they're suggesting that they will watch out for your house while you're gone, because it's part of the perks of having the patron that you do, that you've now noticed that after having accomplished this first thing, you have a lot more interaction with the Feywild than you kind of expected.
Okay.
Pixie Swarm home security.
Hell yeah.
They all have dark glasses and batons.
Little earpieces.
Thanks. And I'll just wave and see them off. Or leave. Bye.
Yep. Yeah, so you walk by, and you pull out the scroll, and it's just a few simple words, and you say that, and it pretty much the tree in front of you opens. It just parts to make an archway, and in this archway you can see the Platinum Mine, just about, you could reach out and touch it from that archway even before passing along. And the dryad you can see the dryad's tree. It is, it's not looking as robust as it did the last time you were there. There are a couple of visible cracks even before you've walked through this portal, and some of the branches are sagging a bit more than they used to, and the majority, not all of them, but the majority of them are leaf free, and it's still kind of summer, so that's not really a great thing.
Okay.
The forest is dying.
Don't, you'll make me sad.
It's
Monster.
all your fault.
I don't know if I hate you.
Just your guilt on the wind.
Party it up. It's all you can do.
I'll slowly approach the dryad.
So as you walk through, the biggest there's a bit of a difference in temperature here. You were in a kind of more of a shaded, forested area. So it was a little cooler, not too bad. When you get here, there's not as much shade. There's more of a direct sun, so it's a bit warmer. But when you arrive, at first there's no response from the tree. And about 2 or 3 minutes of like kind of looking around and everything, and you see a couple of those sprites that you had rescued before. They come out from behind the last few like batches of leaves that are up in this tree, and there's this moment where they bow to you, and they don't have this horn, but they kind of do that turn to the side and that fanfare with a horn, but there's no horn, so they're just making the weird hand gestures and mouth noises, and then the dryad kind of head first peeks out of the tree. Oh, it's just you, it's you. So you've come. So you're aware of my plan. Well,
Yes.
some of my plan, not all of it.
Just gonna die.
Okay, it's very simple. The curse here is broken. I'm not really needed here anymore, and it's kind of time for me to move on and let my children grow. And I'd like you to take this seed, and I'd like you to, I'd like you to use your judgment. Sometime in the future, find a great place for this seed to grow. I'd like to say there's a lesson involved here. The truth is, I'm just too old to be teaching any more lessons. So, if you could do this for me, I will make sure my little friends here, and the hand kind of comes out of the tree and she points to the two sprites, that they, well, they'll kind of work for you for a while as compensation for this deed. They're very skilled. They do have a mischievous bend at times, but I promise you, it will be to your great benefit if you can help me with this.
Absolutely. I wouldn't need any payment for it.
Oh, but it's only fair if you're using your time for me that I give you these great and important agents of my will, and no insight needed. She's trying to sell you a bill of goods right now. She's just trying to give you these sprites. Like, take them.
Oh my god, yes,
Take 'em.
adopt them. Oh my god, be a mother.
I'm a
Be a
little.
mother, father, sister,
I mean,
brother.
if you read between the lines, it's I'm getting too old to deal with these two. They're yours. Just transplant me elsewhere, and you get to keep them.
Okay. I can do that.
Thank you.
They're friendly. And a great friend, but mostly friendly.
What you might see for just a second is not going to look pretty, but it's all part of the cycle. And she kind of like leans back and kind of fuses back into the tree, and then you hear the cracking of wood and the splintering as the tree itself just splits in half. Both sides crash to the ground. The pixies or the sprites that were down there freak out and like pull back away from it. And in the center of that split tree, there is about a fist-sized acorn.
Okay.
Sorry if you can hear my husband's medical laughter. I want to kill myself.
I cut out a bit, so I missed a bit of that, but
Okay.
I'll take the acorn.
The acorn. So yeah, basically what happened is she's like, what you're gonna see now is not great, and then she gives up her. Basically, the tree splits. She goes back into the tree. This tree splits in half, and you have this acorn. So, when you do that, a moment or two later, the two sprites have come around. They're kind of floating in front of your face, and both of them, like these traditional, really inaccurately given military salutes. They're like, and then they just wait for like the response, and then just a moment or two later, like they've kind of shifted away. Now they're just sitting one on each of your shoulders, just looking around, going. And then you hear their tiny voices. So what are we gonna do, boss?
I apparently got invited to a party, so I guess that's what we're gonna do.
Oh, a party.
You guys better behave. You can eat as much as you want, just behave.
And you see the two of them like they go backwards. It looks like they can look at each other from behind your back when they're sitting on their shoulders, and they're like, and you can hear just them speaking, and it's very clear. They're like, "Oh, she's starting with the rules already. Ugh, what are we gonna do?"
I love party.
Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah, okay. They lean back. We'll follow the rules.
Just for this instance.
Oh, yes, no, it's okay. We agree. You're in charge. You got the old boss in your hand, and you're the new boss, so we're gonna follow you.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, what do you want us to call you? The old boss was like, "Call me boss," and that's fine. But what are we supposed to call you?
I really don't care. Whatever.
Okay, Captain doesn't care. So what do we think about this? Okay. What if we called her? No, that's not gonna work. So then, as you're starting to walk, following your direction, the two sprites are having this long conversation with your head between them about what they're going to call you. And there's like things like Your Eminence, and we could call him, we could call her, Bob. Bob. And they're like, what? They're like going through all these lists of
Your
names.
gloriousitude.
Yeah, I was like, no.
Spinch.
Yeah. So, and they're like, and then it's just as quickly as that goes, they just switch back to. I wonder if they're gonna have honey meat at the party. We are like at the. What should we wear to the party? Like, I got it. She goes, and then one of them stands up, gets really close to your ear, and goes, "Give me a minute. I'm gonna be right back." And there's like a poof, And then they basically come back with these outfits that are like cricket head, like they've got like these suits of armor that are just bits of like various bug carapaces, and they're carrying, they look like sharpened blades of grass on their sides, and they're like, we're gonna be your guards, and that's what we're gonna do. And they sit back down, and then you spend the next hour with, there's a certain point in time for you where these two talking with your head between them eventually kind of just fades into the background when you see Antwerp ahead of you, and you're following the map, and you're going from a very crowded area, and as you go further, um, when people go to look up at you, you realize that you can still see these sprites that are on your shoulders, but nobody else seems to see them at this moment, which is good for you. Just don't. There's a lot of eyes there that you feel would be like too many eyes on you had you had these guys just chit-chatting on your shoulders like they were earlier. But as you move through the thicker crowds, the crowds start to dissipate, and the area around you, the buildings, they're higher quality material. There's like kind of a gate to even get through this community. You show the letter, they don't stop you at all. They just let you go through as soon as you even hold up the envelope. You don't even get to actually like hand it to anybody. It's like, yeah, go on, and like if you're not quite sure where, it's near the big lake, and it's down that way, and they kind of direct you that way. And is there only it's only about, you're almost there when you see Kixic and August walking along in that direction. But you see them. Well, August is wearing you're wearing the dress already, right?
Sure.
Yeah, she's wearing kind of gray. It's a little understated, but it fits her kind of clothing. And Kixic is basically in an orange abomination with like a peacock cape and
It's
a
called
top hat
high fashion.
and thigh-high boots
With a
and
little kid holding his cape.
greased up chest with like almost nothing else there. It's a lot of
Kixic. It's a
Yeah.
lot of Kixic.
Yeah.
A lot
Yeah.
of Kixic.
Yeah. So you think you guys think you're moving through these crowds, you're almost to the thing, and you hear something, and just for a moment you look back, and it's not related to what you hear, but you do see Taika walking down the road in your direction.
Oh my god, girl! It's been so long. Hello.
Hi.
Hey,
Wow,
how's it
okay.
going?
Fuck. I guess I'll just go kill myself. Like, Jesus. Like,
Bitch, don't kill our vibe. No, I'm just kidding. I don't say that.
bitch, don't kill our vibe.
Okay.
How's it
So
going?
It's going
Where you been? What you been doing?
in the woods, talking to animals and fairies and trees, like I do.
Yeah. So you go to the same party? You're all dressed up.
Yeah, I got invited to
It's gonna
this
be
whatever.
awesome. Do you have your familiar with you?
Yeah,
What's it wearing? He, she, they, whatever. I don't know. I don't actually know anything
and
about your familiar, so.
and as you're having that whole discussion, um August, you see on the left shoulder, on Taika's left shoulder, the a sprite appears. It looks like it's in kind of weird battle armor, and it has a blade of grass kind of set to its side, and it gives you the weird salute thing. It's like, but it doesn't like the first one was like this, but this time it goes like this, and it's like just trying to do all this things, and then it just disappears again.
Looking good. I'm sure Boss Monkey somewhere. I don't know. All dressed up in a suit.
Aw.
He's in a monkey suit.
He's looking very handsome. We
Does
match.
he have a fez?
A what?
A fez, one of those little like round cup hats.
Oh my god! Like the Apu like
I mean, he prefers a top hat. He's trying to look fab,
Okay.
but
Okay.
maybe he has a little cane too.
I'm here for it.
You see a little ghost monkey walking with a cane and a top hat. Somebody says hi, hey Bob. We'll just, you know. We're tight now. We're tight. It's been a while.
Tight. We are tight.
He is not.
Exactly.
He's not a ghost monkey, but that's
Just picture white fur and hollow eyes. That's totally him.
That sounds absolutely terrifying, to be
with
honest.
with a tiny umbrella.
Yeah, sure. I love it.
So as the three of you reconnect and talk and head in that direction, I'm gonna move over for a moment now to Kevin.
Yes.
Okay, where we last left you, you dealt with an archer. I mean, you dealt with several other people, and as you were dealing with him, this wagon rolled up, and this crazy gnome, known only to you as the Royal, like opened the side hatch of that wagon and unleashed a cannon on a group of people that were trying to assassinate him or capture him or something. You're not quite sure the deal on it, but there was a lot of gunfire, like the cannon fire. There was a lot of people like blowing up, and his mechanical driver had
That scene was all sorts of Michael.
jumped in and did some other stuff, and you took out a couple of them. Then you took out that archer, and then you bolted off in your own direction, to kind of escape the heat that was coming.
Right.
Yeah.
But I had a pretty clear idea where I was going to go next, didn't I?
Yeah, you knew the Royal was going to be heading to Antwerp, and that also that gentleman Drake was operating out of Antwerp at one point. So the question became, were you like the question became, you were going to try, I think the base discussion was you were going to try to beat the Royal to Antwerp.
Yeah.
So you could set up figure out what the next part of the plan was from there, but try to beat him to Antwerp.
I was pretty sure that the idea ended up being that I expected them to be at some sort of fancy party, and I was going to meet.
Yep. And that, so when you make your way to Antwerp, and you see you have some connections around here where you got some information, and wouldn't you know it, there is a big fancy party tonight, and the Royal is supposed to be there, and at least one or two of Drake's people will be there. And you know that everybody who's getting invited to this party is getting a black envelope.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very quickly you have moved into the higher class area where you expect these people to be getting these envelopes. And
I'm pretty sure I know somebody who shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Like they're like I probably have a past with them where we've so I'd like to steal their invitation.
Yep. So, the way this takes place is there's kind of there's a house that belongs to this just gentleman named Warren, who has been kind of trying to perfect gunpowder for like smaller use stuff. In regards to that, though, he's also been using this refined gunpowder to perform robberies and other things to keep himself going in money so he can refine his gunpowder even more, kind of thing. So you sneak into his house and you're just waiting for him when he walks into his study. You're waiting there and he's got the black envelope in his hand. And that's where you start.
I'd probably just wait for him to, like, is he on the way to the event now?
It looks like he'd have to change clothing for the event. He's come in with the envelope. He's probably going to take the envelope in the study, go change, and then leave for the event.
Oh, perfect. Then all I'm going to do is hide. I'm just going to cling in that shadow and do my thing. And as soon as he's out of the room changing, I'll lift the invitation and ban it.
Yep. So the only thing I will need from you is one stealth check with advantage.
23?
Yes. So he puts it down. He walks away to go get fitted properly. You just pick it up. It's absolutely no problem. Go right out the window, and then down the road, not too far away, is the actual event. So the question then is there anything else you want to do before this event?
I have to switch completely into my alter ego for Antwerp. So when I enter the party, I'll be doing it as Drew Spain.
Do you have a forgery kit with you?
I'm pretty sure I do. I have disguise kit.
Well,
I've got some tricky features.
Let's see. You could try a deception check to alter the invitation so it specifically says your new name.
Okay. Give me 1 minute here to review my options, because I'm actually not very good at forging things. Okay, but I have a legit copy, so all I really need to do is change my name.
That's all. Yeah, that's all you have to do is just alter the name. And be honest, the name is a bit of a scribble, so it doesn't really require much to.
Right.
Alter.
And I'm going to use guidance on that, so that when I do make the skill roll, I have at least a bonus. As soon as I find where the D4 is hiding in my bag. So when I go do that forgery check, I have a mighty 13.
You're fairly certain that's a decent enough job to get in what you're trying to do. You don't think this is any kind of high-tech situation. You don't think there's going to be too hard of a look at those invitations.
There'll probably be a couple of people there who've seen me as Drew Spain before. So I'd probably try to leverage that into my my entrance plan. Of course I belong here. This is the circle I move in.
Yep. So there's you basically you're aware of where you need to go, and you start to go that way. And as you start to head that way, You find that the crowds are thinning out. You've gone through a gated community kind of thing, even more gated than the previous area that you were in.
Mhm.
And there is a large manor house up the road, not too far. But before you can get into the manor house, there's a massive gate around it. And there are several people standing at the gate.
And this is the location for the party?
Yes.
Okay.
This is the absolute location for the party. The people that you see standing before you, there's a tiefling in a peacock cape.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm familiar with what I'm walking up to.
Yes. So you're seeing this, and then you're seeing a younger a woman next to him in a kind of gray. It's a subtle dress, but it's still kind of like that. There's some money involved in it. And
Do I spot their invitations?
I don't know. Do you guys have your invitations out?
My invitation
Only
is
if
hidden in my
asked.
pocket.
Because class.
It's
You
in
just
my
pull that
it's in
shit
my
out like
it's
a
in my
peasant.
it's currently
I
in my
assume.
chest. It's like oil stuck to my chest with the oil.
Gross. I assume they're gonna know who we are and let us in. If not, I'll have it handy.
So perfect. August is going to have the exactly what I'm looking for right here. She's confident that she's going to get in without question.
Oh fuck yes. Oh.
So I'm going to walk up to that trio, and Drew Spain is wearing a white military type jacket. It's like a dress uniform style, so it's all clean lines and shiny buttons. Epaulets, all of it. It might look a little bit like this guy right here, Mr. Grand Admiral Thrawn.
So do we see him walking up, or are you coming from a different? Okay, so I'm gonna.
It was kind of behind you.
Okay, I'm gonna see a peripheral something moving, and I'm gonna be to August. I'm like, yo, check this dude out.
Do you have
Looks like he has some fucking money.
chest? Do you have the chest of medals? Like the line?
Not so much. There's a badge there, but it's probably just like a regimental sort of thing.
Okay.
This bro has some money, August. Can we commit crimes?
To be clear, though, too, it's more like it looks like a military uniform than it is a military uniform.
Let's commit crimes, bitch.
And anybody like a career military guy might notice a minor imperfection in like placement of medals or something.
No. Unless I'm saying it's not a uniform. It's just a suit jacket that looks like it's military style.
Okay. So it's just the style. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So you start to walk up and you see the three of them, and pretty much it's the four of you are stuck waiting for this gate to open.
Oh, hi.
Greetings. Are you here for the what's its face affair?
Yeah, I don't even know what this is. I just
black
know that it's
envelope, red heart, whatever envelope invitation thing.
It's for Flameheart Manor.
Flameheart Manor.
Whatever. I just remember that the invitation looked pretty.
Did the invitation mention what the event was about exactly?
Was just in you are invited to dine.
Okay.
With Evan Hartswallow, the owner of Flameheart Manor. No particular, bigger deals.
Looking at the trio, so were you given any indication of what all of this was about tonight?
No, but it was in town, so I wasn't as afraid to attend. So I'm sure there are no gingerbread here, but.
Oh God! Don't even talk about gingerbread. I don't even want to remember.
Very well, then it'll be impolite to bring it up.
he just kind of I can imagine him looking at us like we're fucking crazy, and we're like, oh wait.
No. You're getting that very.
I take a deep breath.
I'm allergic to
He's
gingerbread.
trying to like poker face this with the professionalism.
So what you gather from what they're saying is, if they're not active adventurers now, they had some adventure involving gingerbread that they never want to talk about. So yeah.
So basically, what I'm trying for here is just build small talk so that as we get invited in, our conversation makes me look more like I belong with them, who obviously belong here, that I can slide right in.
Do I pick up any of that, or oblivious? As an investigator, I like to think I have some sense.
Throw me an insight check.
Sure.
And throw me a deception check so that you're gonna try to beat.
16.
It's fairly obvious what I'm trying to do.
I'll include you because that's just who I am as a person.
Yeah, so you get the idea a second later. She's kind of on to your current tactic, but she doesn't seem to care. She's more like, yeah, just go ahead and do what you're doing.
So I'm
As we get closer, I'll even like hook an arm and like lean in and joke you made or something like that. And
what
right.
race is your character?
Human.
Human. Okay. I'm just gonna look at him and be like, so you gonna commit some crimes tonight?
I didn't get any of the audio there.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I'm like, so you gonna commit some crimes tonight? Because I'd totally be up for that. Like, if not exactly right now, but like it would totally be cool. Right, August? That would be a cool thing, right? Committing crimes.
my associate's a little weird. We're a detective agency, but I give a wink. Not that type of detective agency. Carry on whatever you're doing. We don't care. Unless somebody pays us to.
That's an intriguing occupation.
Hey, it pays the bills. And affords us this fucking awesome, like, bougie outfit.
So, Taika, they're all kind of talking around you, but you're not. This is not like kind of abnormal.
Taika,
it always seems to be that you're kind of in the corner, just kind of observing, and people are discussing things like in front of you, maybe even about you, without even realizing.
I'm seeing the dynamic here. August is the face of the organization. She's the one that does the wheeling and dealing with people. Kixic must have some sort of special talent that's not on display here, because there's no way they put up with this if he wasn't useful.
Listen,
there's a lot of greasy muscle.
Yeah. And then the quiet one in the back who hasn't been introduced in any way. I know I'm being watched. So, that's she's the backup plan. And I see how the trio works.
So, as you're having this discussion, you're standing in front of a heavy wrought iron gate that opens a moment later, and leaning against two large, gnarled oak trees. These trees actually have grown through the railings of the gate, and it's just a moment as you're examining that. As the gate opens, you hear an excitable shout. Sorry, I have to clear my throat for this. Welcome! Oh, I'm so glad that you could all make it. You're a little late.
Only fashion, so.
And that's understandable, given my terrible directions. I apologize completely for that. Standing in front of you is a well-dressed man in a black suit. It also has a bit of a kind of military kind of cut and style to it, but that is until you see that the front of this suit opens to like a billowy white undershirt, and that also on the sides of this suit, from like the armpit down, there are printed crimson hearts above open fires, like a line of them going down from like the armpit to the bottom cut of the pants. Um, he's he's very muscular under that suit. His arms kind of bulge even through the material. His
Okay.
his blonde hair. His blonde hair is. We say this guy is probably in his late 50s, early 60s, but he's got a
Never mind.
full, thick head of like blonde hair that doesn't look like it's been touched by age at all, and
Magic.
his hazel eyes are. They're on fire as he's talking to you. He seems so animated in his joy that you've arrived here. So for those of you that don't know me, I am Eben Heartswallow, and this is Flameheart Manor. This is my home, and I welcome you here tonight, and a few others, for an elegant meal and a grand announcement. And
Announcements and meals.
Kix is trying to like flex up on him, like
yeah.
gonna
So
Stop it,
Protein.
And he-
Kix.
he gestures you to follow him up the lane, and he turns towards the Grand Manor that is sitting within this kind of circle of trees. But as you start to hit towards this circle of trees, you start to smell lavender. Like the entire area smells like heavily of lavender. Without a beat, you're all quickly just ushered up to this house. That is a 2-story manor house, and it's kind of, there's a central house and a wing on each side. The house itself is in gray stone with like black and red trimmings. Kind of gives it a, might say like a sleek kind of look to it, but also kind of seems a little like a prison in its functionality and design.
So that's ICAP.
And without a beat, you are all quickly ushered into a quiet sitting room that is basically the first thing in the door. And books lining a few of the walls. There's multiple armchairs, sofas, general seating scattered all over this room, but in no particular fashion. But sitting in one of the armchairs closest to the fire.
Please don't say Lego.
Lego. Sorry.
No.
Legit will end my life.
No. There is a woman in a simple blue and white robe. There is a single silver moon on her collar. She has light brown skin, and she looks to be maybe in her early 30s. You can tell by the wardrobe, the way she wears these robes and stuff, she's a priest from the Temple of the Moon. And her she just kind of looks up from whatever book she's looking at, and she's sitting near the fire. There's a soft wave with a hand from her, but then she goes back to reading. Okay, and
Is
then
she someone I recognize?
no.
Okay.
No. You recognize the order that she's from. You know, like Temple of the Moon, like they're the they're essentially the largest religion, largest recognized organized religion in this area of Shardis. They are they've basically taken over the position of an old sun god. So they're as a portfolio of what they kind of do in business is they heal the sick, they care for the poor. It's a very upstanding group.
Okay, so good reputation.
Yeah, very very good reputation. Although you don't recognize her
Okay.
specifically. Sorry.
I'll keep an eye on them closely, but I'm not going to try to engage. I don't want to blow my cover.
You also see an older woman who has an oversized goblet in her hand that you have seen just in the few seconds that you've been here. She has emptied, refilled, and emptied again.
My kind of woman.
You recognize her as Anna Sparrow, August. She owns one of the more lucrative shipping businesses in Antwerp.
For his benefit, I'll just start whispering any people I know to him out. Because I have no idea why the fuck he's here.
I don't know anyone, thank you.
Is also extremely known for drinking more than her weight at every party and often being forced to be escorted home drunkenly. So she's well off before this party has even begun, well off on her way to finishing strongly tonight.
I'll say some greetings to her. Hello.
You say hello and she looks at you and she gives you kind of a semi-disgusted look, because you know she also knows kind of who you are, but she only knows you as a person that runs a business in the slightly seedy part of town.
100% what I want.
Yeah. So just kind of like, you're not really my class. So kind of, she is very much like that. So lounging on the back sofa, that's when you see two really kind of interesting characters.
It's not Tommy and Teddy or whatever the fuck is it from Animal?
No. There's a gnome in a
Kevin loves gnomes.
in a pure sky blue suit. Kevin, you recognize him instantly. It's the Royal.
Okay.
Yeah. He waves in your direction. Generally, not you, but like the direction of the whole group of you. Okay. He's like, there's a little wave and a little head nod, and then he goes back to talking to this woman. He's in a sky blue suit. He has a hat, but his hat is kind of on his lap, and he's having a discussion with this really young looking elf woman, which kind of the weirdest thing about this woman though is that when she looks in your direction, see what this gnome had seen, her eyes are just yellow orbs.
Does that mean anything specific? The yellow.
That's a good question. Everybody can do
No.
a religion check if you have religion, or
Ooh, 30-20.
Arcana. Religion or Arcana. One of those two
Huh.
will help.
I have negatives, so I just want to see how stupid I can be with it. Oh, a 4. Yes, queen.
To you, Kixie, her eyes are just weird, like lemon drop kind of
It's
things.
a fashion
Ooh.
thing.
But yeah,
Fancy eyes.
it's
Huh, we're at a
but
Is
highbrow
that
party.
Arcana? Yeah.
yeah, Arcana can work if you
23.
yeah. Um, she is
Beautiful.
a genasi, like a lightning genasi. Like her they look elven, but they are pretty much remnants of an elemental race from the plane of lightning at one point or another.
Okay. So she's charged up.
Yeah, it's just it seems like that she cannot hide the fact that her eyes kind of glow yellow. They just do.
Right. Why would she hide it? That's
Um,
usually.
yeah. And she is acting so, like, you can tell she's putting on an act, but she is like fawning over every word that gnome says. Like, she's intentionally paying a lot of attention
Does
to
it
him.
look like the royal is comfortable talking to her? Like he knows her well? Or this is just a party conversation that's happening?
This is, from what you can gather just looking at it, she's fawning over him, and he's kind of just playing along right now. Just because there's nothing else to do at this moment.
Okay.
You know, so he's having a conversation with her. They're not really getting, it doesn't, from what you can hear word wise, they're not getting really deep about anything, but she's acting like pretty much everything he says is like gospel and worth kind of a laugh
So
or a.
I'll lean over to August. Those two over there. The Janazi woman and the gnome. Do you know them?
Who?
The gnome. The gnome. What you do remember of the gnome, because you've actually met him one time a long time ago. That his name is actually Geiger
Counter.
Polmani. No, Geiger Polmani. And he is known as the constructor because he builds stuff. He tends to build a lot of like clockwork devices and things. And there was a little parade that he was part of at one time that you met him, where he essentially had like a clockwork menagerie of animals just walk down the street.
So you would describe him as a contractor, not a vigilante superhero.
The guy that builds stuff. That's from what you can gather.
Okay. Click, 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 click,
Okay.
click, click,
Fuck you.
click.
Now, there are a couple of other people in this room, though. In the next very interesting pairing, there's a dwarf in dented but highly polished full plate armor. Like affixed to the armor itself is essentially 3/4 of his chest covered in medals.
That's a bad motherfucker.
His hands and his face are really scarred. His beard is patchy. His lips look to have been split so many times that they kind of got like a permanent scar. And when he smiles, you see a mouthful of bronze teeth.
Ew, flavor for life.
Okay. So
and he is
Bond villain.
and he is talking. He is talking to and this one you're not even sure how this gentleman got in here. He is talking to a filthy goblin. In fact, wherever this goblin is standing or sitting, whenever he moves his arms or his legs, he's leaving behind like footprints or handprints. There's various fluids going pretty much everywhere.
I
And
clean him.
on the top of on the
That
top
went so well last time.
in the top of his head, he has horns that are very much like a giraffe's horns. And on his filth encrusted leather armor, there is a badge.
Oh no, it's not that motherfucker, is it? It's the gremlin from the other town.
No.
Oh my god.
Different guy. Actually, now you look at it closer. His name is Sergeant Spooky, and he works in the poorest parts of Antwerp as one of the sheriffs of those zones.
Okay.
And Sergeant Spooky is talking to this dwarf who's got the metal teeth, and they're laughing about this stuff, all kinds of things. And there's just one other person in this room, but this person is like not really interacting with anybody.
So naturally, I want to talk to them.
You see seated in a chair, in fact, facing away from everybody. There is an older woman in a very old style kind of lace dress. Her head is kind of bowed a bit, and she seems to be working on crocheting something.
I'm gonna go hang out with her.
I'm gonna follow along, but I'm not really sure. I'm looking for the guy that was after the super or the royal.
Where are you going?
If I remember the order of everything going on.
Yeah. The guy, Drake ordered the Claw. No, the Claw ordered Drake. Sorry, the Claw ordered Drake to take out the Royal.
Okay, and Drake's the one I'm looking for.
Drake is the one you're looking for, but okay. Drake you're not seeing here.
Okay. So yeah, I'm going to follow August around the room, keeping my eyes on the Royal because he is functionally my baby.
Yeah. And there's a lot of like movement and noise as you get closer to this woman, and there's still no reaction from her. She's just sitting with her head bowed, crocheting away. It's when you notice that like any noise that you make from her side, she doesn't react to at all.
Okay, she might be deaf.
I probably don't make a lot of noise out of habit.
Yeah, I know, but like any noise, like you just there's no reaction to any kind of sound. Like you just stepping past her, she doesn't even acknowledge you.
I'm gonna say hi.
Okay. Where are you saying hi from?
Do I notice the whole noticing sound thing?
Yes.
Then I'll try to approach her quietly from the other side and like at a normal tone of voice, say hi.
Okay. So you're coming towards her face.
Yeah. Neil, you're so late. You're late. You missed out.
I like that, Katie. That works
Yeah.
very well. The
Oh no.
when you finally get around, she looks up. She goes, "Oh, dearie. Sorry, I didn't see you. What what can I do for you? You're
How
gonna have
are
to.
you?
You're going to have to speak clearly. I can't hear you. I have to read your lips."
Okay, we're just saying hi. How?
"Oh, hello. I don't want any cheese. Go away."
We're just escaping all the loud guests. We wanted to say hi.
"You're scraping my right breast? What?"
Oh my god.
Yes, that is totally what we're doing. Oh my god.
Perhaps we should speak to a different guest.
Yes.
"What?
Yes.
What are you?"
Bye.
And she looks around. She looks around and she's like, "Why are all these people around me? Who are they?"
Yeah, I want to get out of there
Bye.
before a scene starts. I am
Okay.
mostly trying to position myself to that Kixic is the distraction, and I'm not in scene with him. If I don't want to be at the center of that scene.
So, I'm trying to be hyper aware. What's your name?
I introduced myself as Druce Bane.
Bruce?
Druce.
Bruce?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm
Druce.
watching Bruce.
Uh,
Does he
eh,
look like he's about to assassinate? What is he up to?
I am wearing a rapier on my hip, if that is acceptable for the
Could
dress
be
code.
ceremonial though,
I
but
mean,
like,
if you look at the dwarf, he has a battle axe
Fair,
across his
fair.
back, a hammer in on his hip. The royal, you can see he's got some belt on under his coat that's bulging the bottom
No,
of his
it's
coat.
the weapons on him I can't see that worry me.
Yeah. You see, um, the dwarf has it. You see, Sergeant Spooky has like
Okay.
his short sword.
So more than a few
Yeah.
people are on. Okay,
There are, but the
but
majority.
what is your MO? Like, what do you look like? You're wearing a style non.
Yeah, it's
You're
just
clearly sneaking in.
I have an invitation.
Do you? Do you?
Yeah,
It's possible that you've heard of me before because I've used this Drew Spain persona in Antwerp before.
Can I roll something to see if I've heard of him?
absolutely. Yeah, 1 second. Yeah, absolutely.
Because I'm curious why, like, I'm all for parties, but, like, I'm still curious. It's my business, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm in the business of
So
curiosity.
yeah, a history roll.
Roll.
I'm sorry.
I would say something along the lines of like, I got the invitation. I did not know the exact purpose for it, but I couldn't I didn't want to refuse to attend something I've been invited to.
Okay. Well, I don't know what I'm supposed to roll, but I only rolled a 9 plus whatever, so.
History.
Oh, 12.
You are a
Meager 12.
socialite, so you work in that circle.
Yeah. 12 is good enough. You've never had any direct interaction with him, but you've heard several stories of he kind of shows up at events, like flashes some cash and kind of hangs out with people and makes business connections and then disappears for a long time.
I'm gonna
Former,
just
is
be
that-
blunt then.
former military, probably an officer, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Is that about accurate though?
Yeah.
So in my book, that makes him the most interesting person at the party. I'm going to bring him a drink and say, "So what are you about? I've heard of you."
And Taika, at that moment, while they're starting to have this discussion, a sprite appears in front of your face
Yay!
holding a blueberry. And he's like,
Oh
"That's yours." He tries to hand it to you.
my god!
I like cup my hands and
No, he tries to put it in your mouth. He's like, he's trying to just shove it into your mouth.
My heart, dude.
My mental threat assessment of the unnamed woman in the group goes up because now I'm aware that she has invisible commandos under her command.
He tries at first, but then when you put your hands out to the cup, it's like there's a nod, and then he puts it down. He goes, "I'm sorry, I'm so used to feeding something that doesn't have hands."
yeah, I like to use my hands, but thank you.
There's a whole bunch more. You want me to get some more?
I'll go over to the food table with them so they can kind of eat, which I promised them anyway.
Oh, no, we didn't get those from the food table. We picked them fresh.
From where?
Oh, you could see it. He's got a big garden out there. He's got blueberries and peaches and apples and
Shenanigans.
some poison ivy and like or poison, yeah. And he's got oh god, what is that stuff called? He goes, why can I not remember it? He's got some stuff that makes you sleep. It's really good. I can't remember what it's called though. But we used to take it when we were you know what? We used to no. Maybe that's not a good story to tell right now.
Looking for opium.
No.
So it's sleepy, not sleepy fun.
You have he's got all kinds of stuff. There are a couple of bad trees out there though.
Bad trees?
Bad trees, yeah. Poison trees. Well, the trees themselves are not poison. The leaves, you make poison with them.
Everyone needs a poison tree. Sorry.
Oh, so poison sumac.
Go back to TikTok.
Fuck you!
Like literally what?
So you're having the two of you are having this discussion. You see this sprite appear. The sprite is actually one thing that you do notice. Sprite is doing everything in its power to maintain out of the eyesight of everybody but the four of you. So it's like positioning itself in a way that it's really like you see like Taika's head, or you see one of you are kind of blocking the view of it. It seems very aware of where it should or shouldn't be at any one moment.
Do you know if anybody else can see you?
Well, they can all see me right now, but they could all not see me in just a second. Watch. It's just like this. And then he's gone.
So they're invisible at least half the time?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
And then you hear like a munching sound from near your ear. Something is chewing very heavily on something. And the other one appears. The other one appears a second later. It is sitting on your shoulder. Its face is coated from like chin to forehead with berry juices and dirt and all kinds of other things. And it's just got its mouth is full of some fruit, so full that the cheeks are like all bulged out, and as it's chewing, like bits are just flying everywhere. And
It's like a watermelon seed stuck to the side of his head.
yeah, and it's sitting there going,
This is not the ASMR I signed up for, okay? Like,
oh. There's a nod, and then it fades away. It's like, yeah.
I hate it. I hate it.
I love blueberries.
No.
Nicholas.
You know the
Nick-
worst sound?
Nick plays a College of Whispers ASMR bard other night. It's bad.
Oh yeah,
The-
it's so good. You should hear it just be like, delicious.
Anything's
used
better
to
than hearing
love-
your keyboard.
I got goosebumps.
Fucking
I hate
rude.
it.
You know what? Whatever.
I used to love drawing with markers on paper, and after I had my accident, like the sound of a Sharpie or any kind of those felt like tip markers on paper, that scraping sound, it makes me like clinch up my jaw and like feel like I want to punch my own throat. So I can't
Nails on
do that
top.
anymore. Can't do it anymore. It's sad. And then I used to live with two kids who love to draw all the time. So yes,
Okay.
love them. But anyway, back to the point. This goes on for a little while. You're all having your in a few moments later, Evan walks back in. He goes, "I would be remiss if I didn't offer you a tour of the house as we head to the dining experience."
Enjoy your poison.
So it's kind of at that point that all of the other guests kind of get up, except for the woman who can't hear anything that's happened.
Let's not invite her. We'll just leave her there.
A moment later, a woman in traditional kind of more like servants kind of clothing, with gray hair kind of swept up at like high, almost like it's its own little flame, with streaks of purple in it, comes walking in, and she grabs the old woman by the arm and kind of leads her out. And the whole time as she leads her out, it's a little hard to determine which one is older. But they make each other, like paired together, they make each other look an awful lot like, why am I blanking on their names right now?
Oh, hello, my friend.
The guys in the Muppets, the Waldorf, and Stadler. Sorry, Stadler and Wardle. I can't even speak now. Sorry, but anyway, they seem a lot like those two. They walk through, and at this point, last of you, or you guys, are the last people here. The rest have kind of formed up a line and are following Evan out.
Rozzy just got my name.
So, is that the persona you're going for?
Exact.
So, what
I'm gonna
What
stay
you-
away
what
from
you
him
have-
now.
so what you have now is you're in this like sitting room. Everybody else is gone, but nobody else has come back to see you guys move on yet.
To answer the previous question of what I'm all about, I just gotta play up the fact that I just want to be at this party. It's the place to be. My family does charity work with some people here, and that's kind of how I meet people.
The women are that way. Go ahead, Drew. Have a nice night. I got your game now.
That part of my reputation is slightly exaggerated.
Okay.
I still don't trust them.
Do you guys not get it? Anyway.
Yeah.
He's Bruce Wayne.
Yes. Yes.
I get it now. Okay.
And you were having a paraphrased conversation that occurred in one or two of the Batman movies.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, bye. Have a nice night. I'm good. I think Katie froze.
You think Katie froze?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Fuck.
Great frame though. Nice smile.
But yeah, if August wants to extricate herself from me, I'm not gonna fight with.
I
The
don't
last
think.
thing I want is a scene.
Is what?
I don't want to cause a.
No scenes.
No scenes.
I'm not mad at it. You
And,
do you. Get her
And
done.
Katie, you're not frozen anymore. That's good.
There are clerics for that shit, so have fun.
Come on, Nick.
So, do I see anybody else focusing on the role? Because that's kind of what I'm keeping my eyes out for. Is anyone who's looking in his direction?
Just that the Genasi woman is she's kind of attached herself to him.
Okay. And August doesn't know anything about her. Correct?
No, none of you have in your life seen her. In fact, the thing that's most startling is you've never actually seen that particular type of Genasi at all.
Okay.
Until today.
And just a question I have to have: does my Drew Bane persona know the royal in this persona?
No.
Okay.
You know all the information that you know about the royal is that, strictly speaking, when he's in Antwerp, he acts like he's just like an inventor, constructor.
So tell him what here is I could have a conversation with him and he wouldn't exactly know I was the guy that was in a street fight with him not that long.
No.
Okay.
He wouldn't have any clue.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So would you be so kind as to introduce me to the gnomish fellow over there? August?
Oh, me?
Yes.
Do I know the gnome?
Well, you know the gnomish fellow at Giger.
He's the contractor engineer dude.
Polmeny. Yeah, Giger Polmeny. He's he's a constructor. He's the guy that just builds things for people, and they has built some. Yeah.
Yeah, so we probably know him. But like, hey, have you met Bruce Bane? I am dead.
Did it really take you that long to get that?
Yes, because he was just saying it out loud. I didn't text. Fuck is your name? And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, when I first heard it, I
I'm a
rolled
visual
my eyes
person.
super heavy, but you know.
Now I'm like, I got it. Got it. So, have you met so-and-so who has no idea who the fuck I am anyway? Let me introduce you.
As you start to get up there and to get to the area to introduce her, you see that they were heading past this piano and gonna hang a left, and he's pointing out that that's kind of the area where we do the music, and the dining area is this way, and upstairs are the bedrooms, of course, and you're welcome to stay here the night. Since the parties do tend to run a bit long, most people take up this opportunity often, and there's plenty of bedrooms above for each of you. And just as you get around this corner and he's saying all this to everybody and you get onto this thing, you see the older woman, the deaf, like, older woman falls to the ground.
Oh,
Bye, Felicia.
Kick her. No, don't do that.
Oh no, I'm alarmed.
I've
Let's
fallen.
go
I
help
can't get
her.
up. I need help.
Somebody
Life alert.
call a cleric. Somebody perform CPR.
And when you say call a cleric, that is when the first woman in the blue and the white robes moves over quickly to try to tend to her. And it's
good.
at that point in time.
I was hoping we were all going to already get to the point where I had to risk someone's life versus blowing my cover.
Yeah. Oh, it's at that time. She looks back up and just like, sorry, if there's not much I can do for somebody who's dead. But I hope this doesn't put too much of a damper on your party. I mean, obviously, she was of advanced age, and her death could have been nothing but natural, as none of us here would have had any motive or desire to injure her.
That is usually something that stops party.
So, if you will allow me to take her to the temple, excuse myself from this and take her to the temple, you can commence. You can continue with your meal and your announcement, good sir. He's like, no, listen. I'd like you to be here. We can have. And he looks up and he goes, Granny Sweeps. And the servant woman who was helping her said, Granny Sweeps, you go get a wheelbarrow and carry her off to the temple. My guests will not miss this meal. We will all sit and we will enjoy our fine meal next time.
Dun dun dun.
And that's where we're going to leave it for now. And we're going to go to. We'll start with Nick.
Yo, guys. You can find me at BlueOrin94YT. That is going to be my main Twitter. I'm not really active on Twitter these days. I'm literally just there to observe. But you can kind of find me pretty much anywhere else on the web with the same username, just without the YT at the end. But other than that, I'll just be in my own world playing, what is it? Animal Crossing, and possibly the new Final Fantasy VII Remake, because I want to get lost in that world. But that's just me.
Can a 20-year-old game be new?
I said the new remake. You know what, Kevin? I don't need your fucking sass right now. It's too late for that bullshit. You know what? We're gonna skip over you. We're gonna go to Rozzy. Fuck you. Like.
Cinderwizard, Twitter, Instagram. And if you want to add me on Animal Crossing, just message me and I'll send you my friend code. Because let's share fruit. It's like the thing to do.
Let's share fruit.
I know, right? Katie.
Hi, I'm Katie. You can find me most places on the internet under Katie Bugs. I frequent Instagram the most. I don't have much to post right now because quarantine, but whatever. That's it. Kevin?
Evil Sales Ass on Twitter is behind me. Lately, they've been some very angry tweets because y'all done shot.
He's also really angry all the time because he can't control himself.
I am. A wise man once said anger is. But in addition to that, I'll also talk about D&D quite a bit. So you can find me there for things to de-stress if that's your. But yeah, it's some craziness out there. And then we're off to Derek to close things up.
Okay, so before I give my spiel, I want to give the spiel about this channel we're on right now. And we have games on Sundays and Mondays, tech and personnel, uh, availability pending, of course. But there's a lot of fun. We're dealing with a dragon in the middle of the Cormanthor forest in Curse of the Azure Bonds right now, and they got done with a bit of some pirating. We need to make sure
I want to actually
make
kill
clear
myself.
and stuff. On the Monday game, they're making their way. If I remember correctly, they're making their way off to Candle Keep eventually.
Yep. We have taken a week or two off interlude for Oliver to run some Spelljammer good.
Oh yeah, and that's what you can see me and
So
Kevin
we're between the one shots and the spell.
We'll be doing Monday. Yeah, we'll finishing off that Spelljammer thing. So there's a lot of stuff going on here, and we're working on it, and we value the people that come and watch us. And as speaking for myself, I've really enjoyed working with everybody here for the Friday game, and I want to make it work better for everybody. So we did a few changes, and we're going to keep adjusting things as it comes along. But you can find me at Disposable Idiot on Twitter. That's pretty much all where you can find me. I don't do anything else with any other social media right now. And have a good night.
All right, shut it down.
Have a good night, everyone.